That looks nasty. I've seen and had plenty of knocks in footy, but witnessing a hit to the head like this is confronting. You know, is that a fair amount of impact on the brain that we've just witnessed then or not?
It is, absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Dave, can you explain to me how the Hit IQ mouthguard is able to monitor and track head knocks?
So we've taken the normal custom fit mouthguard, we've put a circuitry board inside the mouthguard. On that circuitry board, we have micro sensors that measure forces. So every time you get a head impact, our system is measuring that head impact at 15,000 times per second. So we provide a very accurate data measurement.
Fitted and calibrated to individual players, the impact sensors log all head knocks and highlights an athlete at risk of concussion.
So it's a multi-stage process to manufacture one of our mouthguards. So the first stage is we have a dental technician take a scan of the athlete's upper palate, and that gives us a digital impression of the player's mouth. From there, we 3D print a normal custom fit mouthguard for that player. We then instrument the custom mouthguard with a circuitry board and the sensors. We also use a special camera and we actually film the biometrics of the athlete's head. And when we film the biometrics of the athlete's head, it gives us a digital impression of where their brain sits in relation to where the sensors on the mouthguard sit. So this is called a hybrid 3 head form, and this is what they use in car crash labs.
Yep.
So what we do is we actually have a dentition here on the front that our Hit IQ Smart Mouthguard clips into, and essentially we're dropping this head form, we're creating an impact, and we compare the data from our mouthguard to the data that comes out of the head form itself. What we're talking about here is we can manipulate the head form to replicate the type of impacts that are going to be sustained on a football field. We can change the angle, we can manipulate the duration, we can manipulate the intensity. So we can basically, once we get concussive forces, we can put those forces into the system and drop it that hard.
But it's not just about the pros. Getting in early at junior level is the long-term plan.
When we start to look at grassroots football, we will have a much more streamlined data set, which will really reduce the price of the smart mouthguards and make them accessible and affordable for mums and dads.
The data from AFL clubs and the NRL will provide valuable insight into the connection between head trauma and football, and that can only be good news for players.
It is tracking the most important thing that we could track, which is we're profiling head impact exposures. And it's quite clear now that if we don't contain and control and measure those head impact exposures, it can have dire consequences for players.